Hey everyone, welcome, welcome, welcome. So I am so excited and I'm also a little sad because tomorrow I close the doors for letting all the new people who want to be able to come and join us in the Insider Secrets Club. So you only have one more day, which makes me sad because I wish I could keep it open. But here's the thing, I do something that's really I feel like it's something that is very personable to a lot of people who join the community. And I make sure that they get started on the right foot. One of the problems that a lot of people have in the beginning is they don't know where to start. They don't know what to do. They get confused. They get lost. And then they stop putting the time and effort into their business that needs to be done because they've got so many other things on their plate. And then their tutoring business kind of takes like a little side dive over here, and then they don't pick it up again for another 3, 4, 5 months. And my goal is to keep you as excited today about your online tutoring business as you will be in 3 months, and to get that forward motion going and get you success right out of the gate. Now, in the beginning, lots of us have no idea what pieces to put into place, how to put them into place. And what I show you how to do is how to do that in the most efficient way possible, because the old strategies of just trying to figure it out and haphazardly put things into place, it means that you have to fix things over and over again when things start breaking down. I've been in business for the last 9 years as an online tutor. I know all of the areas where people get stuck, like people start asking for payments one-on-one, individually, with invoices and all of those kinds of places. And then comes the dreaded, they didn't get paid. It's so frustrating because you would think, why would you do that to a tutor who's putting in this time and this effort into your child? Why would you not pay them on time? And so then you send out the invoice again, and then you send out another invoice, and then you realize, oh my gosh, now I have to have this tough this tough conversation with them about how they need to pay or their child can't get services. And nobody likes to put the child in that position because the child had nothing to even do with the whole payment situation to begin with. It's frustrating. So I teach you how to put systems on autopilot within your business. Now, we do this through several different ways. We've got the online tools and videos that you can watch at your convenience so that you can begin putting them into place. We've got the amazing Facebook community where there's over 140 different tutors in there who are experienced and have been working through their businesses as well and have gone through the same steps that you are personally going to be going through. And then we have the weekly calls. One of those calls is the question answer call. And every single Monday, I come on in and I have tutors that are inside of the community. They come and join me and they ask any questions that they have about their online tutoring business. And you'd be amazed. It's so awesome to be able to have people at your fingertips who are going to be able to actually answer your questions. They need to share the screen. They can share the screen, show you how to do things, and really walk you by the hand versus you feeling like you are a lone island in this tutoring world. So no longer do you need to feel like you're all alone. We are here to serve you, to support you, and to make sure that you get the pieces put into place. So that is why I close the doors, because I want to make sure that all the new folks that do come on in, you feel like you're supported. You don't feel like you're missing different pieces or you're confused. Are you going to be confused in the beginning? Absolutely, because it's a brand new thing. Anytime you step into a new adventure, it is going to be a little bit more confusing than if you had, tons of experience, right? So why not tap on the shoulders of those people that already have experience? Well, what I want to do right now is I want to see who is in the group right now, who's joining me live. If you haven't had a chance to go on in and introduce yourself, please do that. I would definitely like to say hello to you. So far we've got Allen in the house. Woo! Hello, Allen. So glad you are here. And we've got Kathy in the house. Welcome, Kathy. Just saw you just a few moments ago on our tech call, which was awesome. And Kathy says, join us. The Insider Secrets Club is so worth it. and both Kathy and Allen are members of our community. And I'm so glad that they feel that it is so worth it. Yesterday, it was really exciting to be welcoming a member who needed to leave, take a little bit of time off, and then come back into the community. Fernando, it was so awesome to see him today on the call, and he had mentioned yesterday to me, like, he's just missed being a part of the community. It can feel like a little lone island out there, can't it? When you don't have other people to kind of be able to get different perspectives from. So our community is a little bit different than some communities. We are not here to tell you this is how you have to run your business from A to Z, but we have put in simple steps for you that if you see something and you're like, I don't want to put that into place, you don't have to. You don't have to put any piece into place that you feel uncomfortable with. But I will tell you that you are going to feel a little bit more uncomfortable later on if some of the pieces you chose not to put in, they start falling apart on you, like the whole auto payment thing, right? And so a lot of people get upset when they don't get paid on time. Who doesn't get upset when that happens? And so you can save yourself a lot of those kinds of feelings. So what I'm going to be doing today is just like an example question answer call. We've got Beverly Mackey in the house. Hello, Beverly. Glad you can join us. And we got Spanish learning superheroes, our good old Beth. Woo woo. Glad that you guys are here. And Beth says she'd highly recommend the Insider Secrets Club as well. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. I can't even count how many exclamation points because it's so tiny on my screen. No, we every Monday have been meeting to be able to talk about people's questions and answers. And so it's really just kind of a hodgepodge call, right? It's you have a question, we answer it. And so I've grabbed some of the questions that people have been having about the Insider Secrets Club and about just different tech tools, resources, all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna start with those questions. And while you guys are here, please feel free to ask any questions, either about the Insider Secrets Club or about online tutoring, and I will throw it on into the mix of this call as well. So I went on in and somebody had asked the question, if I use Zoom and BitPaper, do I need a writing tablet? And so my first thought was, well, yeah, but then I thought, wait a minute, there are some things that you tutor that maybe you don't necessarily need to have a writing tablet. I mean, in the beginning days, I was able to tutor reading without a problem, without having a writing tablet. However, if I am going to be planning on using BitPaper, which is a whiteboard tool, I think I'm going to struggle if I'm teaching math, because I'm going to have to do a lot of writing, most likely in math. So I asked this tutor, what do you tutor? And of course, she tutors math. So I said, yeah, I would definitely get a writing tablet if you're going to be doing math and using BitPaper and Zoom. So a writing tablet just looks something like this. And then you have a pen that you are able to write on, just like you would write if you're writing on the screen. It does get a little, you have to kind of get used to writing here and then seeing where it comes on the screen. You got to see where your mouse is and begin writing. But other than that, it works really, really great for a lot of the tutors. For me personally, I got to mention it, guys, right? I got to mention it because I like to not have a lot of tools plugged on into my computer as I do my tutoring. I love the Surface Pro computer because I can just write on my screen. So if you have a touch screen or a screen that you can write on, you may enjoy that as well. Now, there were some tutors, they didn't prefer that. So there was another tutor in our group at one point, and she had said, oh, well, I don't like using my Surface Pro because somebody could see up my nose. And I'm thinking, well, how are you using your Surface Pro? So I guess she must have had her computer board pulled off of it, so it wasn't upright like a regular computer. And so then the camera is looking right up her nose when the student is seeing her. So I can understand how that would be weird. I don't have my computer set up that way. I have my computer set up like a regular computer you would, type at. So that's not an issue for me. I don't mind writing on the screen this way. But some people, they would rather write this way. That's when the Wacom board or Huion or something like that is definitely going to be a lot more beneficial for you. All right, now Dinah, she had asked the question, How often does membership open? A couple times a year, a few times a year. There's no number. I can't tell you the next time I'm going to open the door. And here's the reason why. I want to make sure, like I mentioned at the beginning here, I want to make sure that all the new folks feel comfortable. I have a special call for them. It's called the beginner's call. And this is where they get to come on in and they get to ask a lot of the beginners questions they have without feeling like, I know I probably shouldn't be asking this, or this is a really dumb question, but you don't have to have that fear because everybody's in the same place as you. And so you can ask those questions without fear that other people are going to judge you, and you can get those answers as well. And then at any point in time, people who want to come into the other calls, they're welcome to. But the beginner's call is really meant to kind of immerse you in all of the business strategy, the techniques, the lingo, how the community works, so that you feel comfortable as you become a member of our community. How long does that take? It takes as long as it takes, you guys. So I do not open up the doors again until that group of people feels comfortable with where we're at. We had the question, Dinah also asked the question, are the programs used for setting up autopilot easy enough for the slightly technophobic to do themselves, or will it require additional help? Every single tool that I'd love your feedback on this, you guys as well that are inside of the community, to respond to this as well. I personally have chosen the tools to show you how to use to run your business that are drag and drop simple. Now, there are some people out there, they are diehard WordPress fans. The only thing that you can use to set up your website is WordPress. Well, you know what? I find myself actually kind of techno savvy. I can figure things out pretty quickly, but I quickly broke my WordPress site. And I went through that panic of having like this white screen of death, not once, but twice, where nobody could access my website, and freaked out about it. There's no one to support you when this happens. And so I was just livid that it even happened. And there were just so many things in the WordPress world that I didn't understand, even though everybody said, oh, WordPress is just so easy to be able to use and all of that. And then I found like a tool, it's called Wix. Okay, you guys, Wix is phenomenal. It has every single piece that you need. It's drag and drop simple. I share with you how to get it set up, how to start it for those people that need a little bit more guidance on that. There are videos for that. But at the same time, it's not going to take a lot of time for you to be able to create then your website. All you need to think about is the content. And I teach you even how to write that content so that you know how to attract your ideal client. So for those people that do feel like, you know what, tech really isn't my thing. Like, Joanne, you don't get it. Oh no, I get it. I get it. There are some people, they're not tech savvy. And even if you give them a drag and drop simple program, it still is not enough. So I've created a special call called the Tech Call. On the Tech Call, this is exactly where we practice the tech. If you're struggling with something, I have you share the screen and I walk you through it so that you know how to do it. And this is really to really guide you and help you. So will you need additional help? That is really going to be up to you. But here's the beautiful part. Additional help is there for you every week, same time, same place, same number. So you'll be able to come on in and get help from other people inside the community, myself and others included. So thank you, Allen. Allen said Joanne has really invested and is passionate about helping support people in the community. So thank you, you guys, for that. I absolutely love being a part of this. And it is amazing. And then Elizabeth had mentioned that she totally overuses exclamation points. but that this group is definitely worth it 1,000 times over, because the camaraderie and close community is worth gold, and the calls each week are truly incredible. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate that. And Patricia, thank you. You guys, this community wouldn't be anything without you. You know, I'm just the person who has the amazing opportunity to be able to lead you guys and guide you and help you and point you in the right direction. I don't always have all the answers, you know, but I will be able to point you in a direction that will help you get the answers that it is that you are looking for. Now, this is interesting because we sometimes have people in our community, they join our community because it's similar to what they do, but not exactly what they do. So Dinah was wondering, is it a good fit for somebody who is doing public speaking and interview coaching, but works with like adults one-on-one? Would this still be something that would be good for them? And so I let people know that what I teach, it's not like hugely different from running any other kind of online business. The only difference is that it's geared specifically towards tutors and the questions that tutors have. But setting up a website, that's like just everyday business, right? Being able to speak to your ideal client, again, that is just like honestly going through and talking about, okay, figuring out who is your specific ideal client, who you're trying to attract into your funnel. Let's think about how we can attract them into your funnel. Creating content, none of this stuff here that we're talking about is like only for online tutors. My husband has actually said this so many times over. He's like, you need to not just work with online tutors, Joanne. You need to open this up to working with lots of other people, because the stuff that you are teaching isn't just prevalent to online tutors. And I've kind of like said, yeah, but I still want to make like my main message for online tutors. So if you feel like you do something online where you are working with people one-on-one and you're wondering how to advertise your services and how to get out there and create a message and all of that kind of stuff, what resources, what tools that you can use and how do you use them, this absolutely is going to be a place for you. We're going to welcome you with open arms. So don't feel like this is only a place that it's only going to be for online tutors. Just most of us are online tutors. Now, Farzana Irfan wants to have his own channel on YouTube, but he doesn't know how to record videos and edit them for branding. And he was looking for someone to guide him and help him in this area. Right now, what I'm doing is I am using Zoom's technology. So I can record on Zoom, and then I can do all of my editing. So one of the tools I use for my editing for my videos is called WeVideo. Now there's other video editing tools that are out there. I like WeVideo because it's drag and drop simple. There are so many pieces that we need to put into our practice with our business that if we put complicated systems in place, it makes everything so much more complicated, right? So in the beginning, people would talk about Camtasia as one of them, and it's a little bit more difficult to learn all of the ins and outs of Camtasia and all the features that it has. For me, I do every single video that you see on Mondays through WeVideo and Zoom. And what I do then is I am able to take different, you can't just like speak to the camera like I am now during a live, right? I have to constantly be changing the screen and changing things up for you guys to keep people engaged. And so I add content, I add words. I can do all of that inside of WeVideo. The other thing that I can do, because he wanted to know how do I add branding in there, is I create an intro. So I created an intro using a different video tool. I don't remember the exact video tool that I use. If you like end up Googling like intro, outro video templates, you will see some that come on up. You could choose one that really suits you and put your own branding into it. That's exactly what I did. It only cost me like $30 or $40 to be able to create that intro. And now I use that intro on every single video, which is part of my branding. And then at the end, I also have more branding where I have a call to action, right? What is it that I want them to do next? Do I want them to stay on YouTube and watch another video? Do I want them to subscribe to my email list, or do I want them to get started? And so that's an important thing that you want to consider on YouTube is what is the next call to action? So that is exactly what I'm going to do right now is I am going to paste in here my call to action for you guys. Those of you who want to get started. Here is the number 4 video that was released out of our series that if you're interested in joining us, you'll be able to click on that link, go to the getting started link, and you will be able to get started. So that's just like a little overview on how to create the video and guide you through that. We are actually going to be talking about in the next couple of weeks. Next Thursday, I have Sam DiMercurio coming on in. He's going to be talking about live streaming and tech and all that great stuff on the live. And then we have a special webinar that we are creating where we're going to guide you step by step on how to set up a live that is effective, that people want to watch and gets people coming back week after week to watch you and what it is that you have to say. So definitely stay tuned for that. Now, I did have a question because people always want to know, well, how much does the Insider Secrets Club cost? You have 2 choices. The choices are, it's either $50 a month, or I reward those of you who are like, you know what, I am in this for the long run. I'm in it for the long haul. I reward you. And I give you 4 months free if you pay for the year. And you get that for just $397. Incredible. I was looking at a program the other day, you guys, just personally for my own professional development. It was going to cost me $297 a month to join it. Okay. So $397 for the entire year where you're staying up to date on best practices, on what is going to help you build your business, on what tactics and strategies are working today, to all that detail, and you get that at just $397 is seriously a steal of a deal. So definitely come on in and join us. Now, I have had people ask this question. Can that $397 be broken down into smaller payments? No, because it's a reward. You get that price because you are saying, yes, I want in for the whole year. So the choices are the $50 a month or the $397. I have to make it simple on myself too. If I have too many options open, it makes it really difficult for me to run my business. And so I want you guys thinking that way too with your business. If I offer like 5 different payment plan options for clients, who am I making it more difficult for? You're making it more difficult for yourself because there's no way you're going to be able to like seriously like sit down and be able to make sure that all the payments are coming in on time and you're able to take care of everything that you need to take care of along with the tutoring and all of that kind of stuff. You want to make your business model as simple as possible. That's what makes the automation phase a lot easier. All right. So remember, if you have any questions whatsoever, you're going to be typing them on inside of the chat so that I can make sure to add that on into the conversation. Thank you, Beth. She said, it is so beyond worth it. Now, here is what I will say for those of you who are on the $50 a month. If you ever wanted to say, hey, you know what, I'm ready to make the commitment to do the year and get the 4 months free, you can now move to that new payment plan where it will be a yearly fee and move off of the monthly. But you can't take your past monthlies and apply it to your new yearly. Hopefully that makes sense and wasn't too confusing. You know what? And this is so pivotal. This is why I have the 2 options open. So Patricia, you really mentioned something so important. Patricia says that she wishes that she could do the whole year. But right now, at this point in her business, all she can afford is the $50 a month. That's why I've offered those 2 choices for people. Because I I want to be able to make sure that those people that are in a really tight money situation, that money isn't the reason why they don't join, that there's still an option for them. And so we are so glad to have you, Patricia, inside of our community, inside of our group. And, I know exactly where you're at. When I was starting off, I had three very little ones, and life was very, very tight with me leaving my teaching job. And many other tutors are in a very similar situation where they've left their teaching job, or, they don't have a job, and they are currently adding in tutoring and online tutoring. Now, the big announcement. I told some of you guys there's going to be a big announcement today. There's a new payment plan system in the world, and it is active September 14th. This is part of the EU trying to make online purchases less fraudulent and more safe for everybody. It is called 3D Secure Payment. And so this is really, really important, because you have to make sure that whatever payment system you are using, that if you're working with anybody in the EU, you have this enabled. And so I do have clients in the EU that I am working with. And so I have to make sure that I have the 3D secure payment. PayPal is already set up, ready to go. There is nothing you have to do on your side to make sure that it is in place. If you have Stripe, you have to manually turn it on. And it is highly suggested that you do, so that everything that you do online is more secure. Now, I have been doing research more and more about this so that we can really get comfortable with what is this whole 3D secure thing. So it says, come September 14th, the European Union is rolling out strong customer authentication requirements across the European Economic Area. So in the past, everybody online has been able to complete a transaction by filling out their credit card number and giving a PIN. But once the SCA is rolled out so like today is the 12th, it's Thursday. So once Saturday comes around, authentication will be required. And there's a 2-factor authentication. So it either has to be an authentication where it's something that they know, maybe a password, a secret fact, a PIN. Maybe it is something you own, mobile phone, a wearable device, a badge, or something you are, a fingerprint, a facial feature, voice pattern, the DNA signature. These are all going to be part of the 2-factor authentication. It says that 3D Secure has been growing in popularity over the last few years, but it's largely been optional. However, the European Union is rolling it out so that the payment devices, under the Payment Devices Directive, it's going to become all but necessary for any e-commerce company that serves Europe. So why are they mandating 3D Secure? So they are mandating it because there's more and more money that is exchanging hands, which means that there's more risk of fraud and theft, right? So in order to reduce that fraud and protect customers and make payments more secure, the EU is rolling out this strong customer authentication. And it is going to make the checkout process for clients more cumbersome, but it's also going to reduce fraud and make online shopping safer. Now, this isn't like across the board, right? Like, so if you are only working with people in the US, this does not affect you whatsoever. But if you ever do have then someone from the EU, you need to make sure that you put these systems in place so that you can handle it effectively and not be liable for, committing a crime that you didn't even know you were committing. So it is really important. And this is one of the beautiful things about staying connected with us inside of our community, right? We stay up to date on what is going on in the world with the online business stuff. there are times where things are being put in place that if you don't have them in place in your business, you actually can suffer heavy crimes or even go to jail. So it is really important that you put a safe and secure business in place to protect yourself. Now, there are situations which a purchase may not be subject to the SCA's two-factor requirements. So here are the exceptions. If it's a low value transaction. So if the transaction is less than $30, it's going to be exempt. If the card is used 5 times or total charges up to $100, then authentication is going to be required. For recurring transactions, and this is really important, guys, because I know lots of us are putting in the automated payments, right? It says that subscriptions and other recurring transactions are exempt after the initial verification. So they have to verify it the very first time around, but after that, the transactions will just continue as normal. So that's one of the biggest pieces there. It's not going to affect how many steps they have to go through in order to make this possible. Okay, so if you want to put the automatic payments in place, you still can do that. You just can't set up somebody's credit card and expect them to pay. They have to say yes, put in either their PIN or their Face ID, go through that process the first time. And then from there on, it sounds like all the other transactions will be automated. So this is just making online shopping safer for everyone. It's also going to protect you more as well, because now once they've made that authentication and they put that into place, they are liable and you are not. Like if they all of a sudden come back and say, oh, well, that's fraud, that they charged my card or something like that. They went through the process to authenticate it. And so it's on them, not you. So this is also to protect, obviously, like the credit card companies as well. I can only imagine how many credit card fraudulent calls they get all of the time, which is crazy. So that's a little bit more about that specific process and how that's going to go about. So I am so glad, one of the things that I enjoy the most about what it is that I do is serving this community and serving you guys. And I definitely want to make sure that I'm able to help you when it comes to running your online tutoring business. I've put these pieces in place with my own business. Other tutors have had a lot of success with putting these pieces into their business. I have people who've been in business for a really long time. One of the questions I get is, well, it seems like this is just for new people. Don't think that it's just for new people, because if you started your own online tutoring business and you didn't have any guidance really kind of going through as you were putting the pieces into place, most likely you're going to be able to learn something that's going to make you more money. And that's exactly what happened to Lisa, who is one of our members. She's been on a lot of our calls, our live calls. She's been a Tutorpreneur Hero award winner. She had her own business for 3 years. She joined the community and then she started putting some of the pieces in place that I have. And she's like, automatically, I started making more money. I kept my clients longer and I was making more money. She knew how to talk to clients more professionally to be able to turn them into clients, which meant that she was increasing her sales. So if that is something that you're looking for, then definitely come join us for just the amazing camaraderie that we have going on inside of our businesses. So, all right, I'm not seeing too many more questions like popping on up or anything like that inside of our group. Thank you guys so much for the kind words that you guys have offered about the community. I have actually been putting this into place for the last 7 years. Obviously, what the program looks like today from 7 years ago is very different. The amount of people that we have inside of our community has completely changed. And I think the value of the community has overall grown because of all of you guys that are inside of it. I appreciate every single question that you guys ask, because it helps me know better how I can serve you guys. And not only that, but other people have the same questions, and sometimes they're just scared to ask them. And that's why we have replays. As you miss a call that we do live, you get access to the replays of those calls. Not everybody feels comfortable just walking on into our live calls, or maybe sometimes people can't even make it to the live calls. That's okay. You can still feel like you're a part of by listening to the replays. Oh, yes, Media, I so forgot. I can't believe I forgot. So Elizabeth asked me a question about Medium. Should we do stories or publication? And I'm like, oh, I want to find out that answer. And I'm going to tell you on the YouTube live call. I forgot. I'm so sorry. So I'm gonna like right now, I'm gonna look that up, and I am going to post it inside of the Insider Secrets Club. I can't believe I forgot that. Oh, so crazy. All right, lots of stuff. That whole like 3D like took up all of my time trying to figure out, okay, how is 3D going to affect our sales process when it comes to, you know, the automated payments, and to learn that it really is only going to affect it on the very first transaction made me feel a lot better. It was like, oh, okay, cool. So it's not like every time a payment goes through, they have to verify that they want that payment to go through. They've already made that decision that they want it to go through. And so it should be good to go. All right, you guys, will you enjoy the rest of your day? Definitely come and join us in the Insider Secrets Club. And I will see you next week as I join Sam DiMercurio, and we talk about live streams and technology and OBS. So come join us. It's going to be awesome. See you later, guys. Bye.